Hello, kids.
Hello.
King chair is yours.
How you guys doing? High five, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five. How you guys doing?
Great.
I'm good.
It seems as though an introduction is totally unnecessary.
No, we know him, son.
You know, okay, I'm very glad he makes you excited. So he does with me. You know DJ Fresh, 5 FM?
Yes.
Yeah? Pardon?
We were just jamming to his song not long ago.
Okay. He says his wife calls him Hey You. I call him DJ Fresh. But what we should call him is the king of radio in South Africa. It's very good to have him.
Thank you for coming to it. Thank you. Do we just go? All right. Okay, Flip, why am I here? Why are you guys here? Why are you here?
I guess I'm here for inspiration. I guess
Yeah?
I need to get back on the right track.
Mm-hmm. Why did you lose track?
Lost track high school for music.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
So
And you, my boy?
I'm here to find inspiration and find sense of life, or reason for living.
Why did you lose reason?
The reason was I had a lot of bad reasons to not live,
Yeah.
and I thought that I have to give up on myself.
You with the beautiful flaming hair? Yes, you with the red hair. Yeah, why are you here?
Well, I thought it was first for anger management because, yeah.
Why are you angry?
Yeah, I get fast angry.
So it's not just the hair color.
Hair color is just a plus point.
Yeah.
Illustration.
Yeah.
Oh
In
yeah.
any case. But I also thought it would be nice to like get out of the house because me and my family, we fight a lot. And then just, I don't want to do school anymore.
Yeah. In fact, because that's why, I agreed to speak to you guys, because I hated school. I thought school sucked. I mean, I remember they sent me to boarding school when I was 12. And I mean, already you're 12, you're being sent away to boarding school. For me, it felt like, why are they getting rid of me? You almost felt a sense of, because I mean, I literally lived 10 minutes away from my school. But they sent me off to boarding school because they figured I probably needed the guidance or to grow up, because I was a very immature 12-year-old. So I mean, as much as I was 12, I think I probably had the maturity of a 10-year-old, and I took nothing seriously. I mean, all I wanted to do was play video games, ride my bike, play soccer with my friends. Yes, I used to play soccer. I sucked, but I used to play soccer. And I mean, I remember my first 2 years in high school, I was easily a C, D, and E student. And then I discovered DJing. I started DJing at school socials about age 13. And a lot of my friends, I mean, they were studying, they were passing, getting A's and B's. And I hated school. I'd go to the boarding house and I'd just sit on my bed, wait for the next day. And like I said, I was literally getting C's, D's, and E's for 2 years straight. And I think it was in the third year of high school that, I asked myself, is this who I am? I mean, do I want to be known as that kid that, yes, he's a good DJ. Yes, he's good at playing baseball. Yes, he's good at playing, because I mean, I played every single sport. But I felt like, why am I wasting my time here? Why am I here? And I think it's when I realized that when I'm done here, all my friends that I think are cool, that I'm hanging out with, they want to go and do their own thing. And, for me, that was the first wake-up call. And I decided that my goal is finish here, get this done, and then maybe I can start focus on DJing. But my parents wanted me to be a lawyer. So already there was conflict. So I think by the time I was 17, 18, and DJing is burning in my blood, I fixed my marks. But now my dad wants me to be a lawyer. I want to be a DJ. But at the same time, there aren't many DJs when I was a kid that, I mean, there weren't any guys who were career DJs that I could say to my parents, but look at so-and-so, he's making it work. So it was literally up to me to start motivating myself, focusing on, this is my goal. I'm here. What are my obstacles between where I am and this goal of mine? And I can speak about this because I can look back and see what some of, the challenges I had were. And I think when you're young, I call it noise. That when you're young, you're susceptible to so much noise. You know, noise is low self-esteem. I was a fat kid, so I was always made fun of. In fact, some people still think I'm a fat kid, but that's a story for another day. But that's what I found, just looking back at when I was between the ages of 12 and 18, were some of the things that got in my way. So like I said, I call it noise. So that noise was low self-esteem. I didn't believe in myself. I think it took my drama teacher when I was 17 to help me see my potential, to help me believe in what I can be as a 17-year-old. What was the other noise? Noise was family members who didn't believe in me. And you know, we get a lot of that, where you tell your family, this is what I want to do. And there's that one aunt who says, but why do you want to do that? Why can't you do this instead? And I think a lot of families don't realize that you might be damaging a child if you're not going to support them because you think you know better. You know, there's so many other ways of saying to someone, why don't you maybe look at this, as opposed to saying, no, don't do that, you're dumb, this is going to fail, do this instead. So there's that noise. Other noise is just not being focused. You're young, you know, you think you know everything. What else is noise? Noise is not being willing to ask for help. I mean, how many of you are going through stuff, but you never stop and ask for help? Because you think you know it all. You know, nobody can tell you anything. Noise is bad company. You were saying you hung out with a lot of noise. When did you realize that your friends were not such good company after all?
When I started looking back in my life and seeing that I'm not going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out.
Yeah. So hence I say that there's so much noise when you're growing up that it almost becomes difficult to come up with a goal and then head towards that goal. And I think, you know, the secret to dealing with that noise is acknowledging that it's there. Is acknowledging that I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. Maybe I do need help. You know, I think as soon as you start being aware of who you are, when you're sitting alone in your room or sitting wherever alone, and you're just looking at your life and what you're doing, it takes a lot to say to yourself that, you know what, maybe you are messing up. Maybe you do need help. Maybe you're not studying enough. But school is such a short part of the rest of your journey. But we hate it so much that we mess it up. But this is all it is. Your life is that. School is here. And when you look back, you're going to realize that school is actually the best time of your life if you allow it to be. School doesn't have to be this monster that is punishing you, or where you're fighting your family all the time. You know, she's fighting so hard, her hair is red now. You know, but don't worry, red brings out your eyes. So looks good on you. But like I said, it's important to be able to introspect and sit with yourself and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Because if you're honest enough with yourself, you actually don't need anyone to tell you that you're messing up, or that, you know, if you don't end up in jail, you might end up dead. Because a lot of the time, for a lot of young people, those are the only two paths they're taking: jail or death, or jail or living on the street, or death, or all three, just in no particular order. And I think those are some of the questions you need to ask yourselves, because at the end of the day, you know, you came to this earth alone, you're going to leave alone. And you know, I'm a strong believer in legacy. So even if you die at the age of 12, what are you going to be remembered for? What are people going to say about you that was great, or that they might have learned from you? You know, I look at my daughter, she's 6, and I learn from her all the time. And I mean, one of the greatest lessons I've learned from a 6-year-old is, no matter how sick she is, she finds a reason to smile and have fun. And you know, as you get older, we start seeing and finding less reasons to be happy, less reasons to smile. And you know, your smile is up to you. You know, people will piss you off. You know, people always complain about the world is unfair. The world isn't. In fact, I think the world is very fair because it treats all of us crap. You know what I mean? So don't think it's about you. It's not about you. Everybody has stuff they're going through. But how are you dealing with your stuff? And do you have the courage to ask for help? You know, do you have the courage to say to yourself in the mirror, listen, you're screwing up. And if you don't arrest the situation right now, you're gonna amount to nothing. And nobody wants to look at themselves and feel like, I feel like nothing, I feel like a failure. And like I said, I was that kid. And no amount of lectures I got from my teachers, from my parents, from anyone else that felt I was messing up, that did nothing for me. Until I said to myself that, you know, this is not the adult I want to be one day. That doesn't listen to anyone, that thinks, I think I know everything. I think nobody can tell me anything. And at your age, you know, that's what you believe. You think you're Superman. You know, you think, flip, who are you to tell me? You're old. What do you know? And, you know, sometimes the wisdom of age can help you almost find yourself or reroute where you're going in your life. There's other little things that I do on the side. It's important to do as much as you possibly can while you can. Because we tend to sometimes think, I've got this certain talent, therefore that's all I'm going to do. But talent without hard work, without a plan, without focus, it's useless. I always say, take your massive talent. Someone who's willing to work harder than you might do a job better than you with your talent alone. So don't think because you're a good singer, that's all that it's going to take for you to succeed.
Sorry, I'm talking about success and that you succeeded so far in DJing.
In fact, based on my plan for me, I think I've only just begun. So I don't even think I've succeeded yet. So, you know, yeah.
I just want to ask, like, what is your 5 basic rules to success?
I don't think there are 5 basic rules to success. Like I said, I don't think anything can beat hard work. Focus is very important. I always tell people, as much as you're good at what you do, in whatever it is that you do, being humble will carry you a long way. People remember humility. People remember good manners. Just the basic things that as a kid you're taught. That be kind to others, be humble, don't burn your bridges. Just little basic things like that. People remember that. When they need someone, I don't know, if I'm looking for an artist and I know that you can draw, but I know that not only can you draw, but you're a nice guy, I'm more likely to give you that job because I remember those little things about you. You know, be as memorable as you possibly can in everything you do. You know, all of you are going to meet 5 people, but those 5 people are going to remember each one of you differently, based on whether you're memorable, if you asked questions, are you curious, are you willing to work hard? So for me, those are, you know, those are the basics. But also most important to keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean all the time. You can use that however you want to use it. Start with you, come to you. What's your name? Felicia, yes.
I wanted to ask, now that you're successful, did your dad forgive you? Is there now a level of understanding? Does he support you?
One thing I find fascinating about parents is ultimately your parents love you. Whether you fail or not, ultimately your parents love you. But we tend to take advantage of that love. So, you know, as disappointed as your parents might be that you dropped out of school because you fell pregnant, you know, you're still their daughter. The chances are they will love you and love that grandchild. But, you know, we need to try hard not to take advantage of that love. But having said that, though, you know, my dad, I think, is my biggest fan right now. And you know, I think about 12 years ago, we had a man-to-man, just me telling him my issues about some of the things he might have said or done when I was a kid. And, you know, just looking at our relationship right now, I think those are very important. You know, whether it's with your friends or your family, it's very important to have honest chats, just one-on-one. Yeah. What's your name?
Lerato.
Yes, Lerato.
Yeah, I want to ask you something. What are your views on faith? You know how, like, when you stumble, people just tap you down and just dump on you. Are you a perfectionist as such, or do you really encourage you to know better about yourself?
I think more often than not with failure, I find that we become too hard on ourselves before people become hard on us. And, you know, you look at all these successful people, and because all you've seen are the successes, you think they lead perfect lives. But we all fail. And we lose so many opportunities because we're scared to fail. I want to try this, but what if I fail? I want to ask her for her phone number, but what if she says no? If you don't ask, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You know, the fact that you fail to try something because you're afraid that you might fail, that's a failure in itself. And I always say embrace failure. As long as you're learning a lesson from why you failed, or you have found another way of making something work because it failed the first time, then you're growing as a person. But I think don't beat yourself up because you failed. But if you're not learning a lesson from that failure, then there's a problem. There's a bigger problem there than the fact that you failed at something. But I mean, there's projects I've done that have failed. There's albums I've released that have failed. But I'm not gonna let that stop me, because I still have a bigger goal. These are just small little increments in what I want to do ultimately with my life. So we all fail. It happens. It's in fact, we probably fail more times than we succeed. But people will only ever see that A, because that's what you're showing off. But no one will ever see the E, because you keep that under your desk. You know what I mean? But like I said, learn from your failures. You'll be better for it. Yes, sir. What's your name? Yes, Lizo.
Just a quick question. Like, your dad was against the whole DJing, and in school you were doing different other sports.
Yeah.
How did you know? Like, what told you that DJing is the one to follow? And what was the thing that kept driving you? Like, even when he was doubting you and stuff like that, what kept pushing you? Like,
I think the thing that kept me going at the time when nobody believed in me. I mean, I remember dropping out of law school, and my family law lecturer telling me that it was a big mistake. I'm going to amount to nothing. Those words actually still ring in my ear. I still remember the conversation like it was yesterday. And part of the reason I made sure I succeeded was, one, to shut them up, but two, because that was my passion. That's what I wanted to do. And I wanted it badly enough not to allow anything to get in my way. And I'm not saying this wanting you to think it was easy. It wasn't easy. There was a lot of blood, sweat, literally tears, a lot of back and forths, doing demo tapes. I think I've probably sent out about 50 radio demos before I got my gig at YFM in 97. I was literally doing a demo every week, posting it to one radio station, posting it to the next radio station. But you have to be relentless. You have to keep, I think it's when you're thinking, I want to give up, that you need to push yourself even harder. Because we're so quick to give up, we're so quick to think the world is against me, that we just stop and we throw our hands in the air and think, okay, I'm done. So I was relentless. I wasn't, for me, failing was not an option. And it wasn't even a case of, am I giving up? For me, in my head, it was a case of, when will someone stop and hear me? When will someone stop and listen and say, okay, maybe let me give this kid a chance? Eventually someone hears you. If you have something to offer, eventually someone will hear you.